live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien, presented by...
Perhaps the main reason his enemies hated Marshal Wyatt Earp was Wyatt's profound loyalty to his friends. Then there were such characters as Jim Kelly and Dora Hand, the queen of Dodge City nightlife. Jim Kelly, the saloon keeper who backed Wyatt in his struggle to civilize roarin', snortin' Dodge. And Dora Hand, a legend in her own lifetime on the frontier, whose romance with Kelly and friendship with Wyatt caused some lifting of eyebrows among the respectable citizens of Dodge City. But Wyatt Earp, having once gained a friend, was loyal to that friend to the last ditch.
Howdy, Wyatt.
Hey, you look like a married man already, Mr. Kelly.
None of your bachelor grins now. I may back out on it entirely. And what would you think of that?
You'll be at the church tomorrow. Where's Miss Dora?
Still sewing on that dress. I tell you, Wyatt, I'm shaky. Hey, what are you toting?
Oh, it's a present. And it's hefty. I'm kind of scared to show it to Miss Dora.
What is it now?
Never mind. It's for the bride-to-be to open, not you.
Wyatt, I'm not good enough for her.
No, you're not.
I knew you'd say that, and I ought to get sore. But it's the Lord's own truth. You can't take a man out of a saloon and put him in a hardware store on the right side of town and expect a miracle.
Now, Miss Dora doesn't expect that. She knows you.
But is it fair now for me to be marrying her?
Mr. Kelly, the women always get the worst of it. They expect that. Anyway, if women weren't braver than men, there'd be mighty few marriages. No, Miss Dora knows exactly what she's got to put up with.
Come in, Wyatt. Put the clock down.
Clock?
It's a beautiful Seth Thomas with chimes. And you paid far too much for it. But there's no need to pretend we don't need a clock. You open it, Jim. You're the head of the household.
How'd you find out that I was giving you a clock?
Mr. Levy told me that you sent all the way to St. Louis for it. And he didn't want you to waste money on something we didn't need. Oh, Jim, isn't he beautiful?
Sure is. One of those new 8-day clocks. Must have cost you mighty near a month's pay.
Oh, now mind your manners, Kelly. You know that we don't put a price on anything. Oh, you better let Wyatt put it on the mantelpiece. I don't trust Jim in the state he's in.
Want me to wind it?
Oh, no, it's bad luck. Wait until after the wedding tomorrow.
Well, we sure do thank you. Do I get to wind it?
Bend down, Wyatt. We'll treasure this all our lives.
Thank you, Miss Dora. Mr. Kelly, you don't know how lucky you are.
We're both fools for luck. Oh, this is a far cry from the Alhambra Saloon and Dora's dance hall. Oh, why, Wyatt... Dear.
What's wrong?
It's that relative. You know, hon, the one whose father owns that big ranch down in Texas.
I'll settle his hash.
No, you let me take care of it. He thinks he's in love with me. I'll let him down easy.
But Dora...
Now stay out of it, Kelly.
Let Miss Dora handle it.
Howdy, Bob.
Is it true?
What do you mean?
As soon as I hit town, they told me about you marrying that old man. It can't be true.
If you mean Jim Kelly's not an old man. Yes, we are getting married tomorrow.
That Irish saloon keeper? You're smarter than that.
Oh, how smart should I be?
Dora, listen. I told you I'd marry you just as soon as I collected from my mama. Well, I collected. I'm over 21 and my old man hasn't got a thing to say about it.
I don't rob cradles, Bob. I told you that, didn't I?
You ain't marrying Jim Kelly.
Oh, yes, I am tomorrow.
You're marrying me.
Bob, look. Your pop may own half of Texas, but it doesn't make any difference to me if he owns the whole state. I'm 30 years old. Go back to Texas, Bob. Get a gal your own age.
Go. Get on your horse, kid.
Well, the bridegroom, you think. You stupid Irish no-good.
Get on over here, Dora.
Wyatt! Wyatt!
Get in the house, both of you.
Kelly, temper now. Come on, do it, Wyatt.
you're Wyatt Earp, huh?
That's right.
That's supposed to impress me? My name is Rellens. Bob Rellens.
I heard of your father. Nothing very good. I don't want to hear any more about you. Now, you get in that horse and ride out of this town. Leave it alone. You're a spoiled brat. Sit on, Kelly. Give you that beating. You swing another punch at me, and I'm going to give you that licking, boy.
You're bigger than me, Earp. But Dora ain't gonna marry that Irish, you understand?
I told you to get on that horse. Your time's run out in this town. If I see you here again, your father isn't going to know you.
I'll get me another gun, Earp. You tell that friend Kelly, Dora ain't gonna marry that Irisher.
Wyatt. Wyatt. Jim wants to go gunning for that fool kid.
Won't be necessary. Mr. Kelly, would you bring my hat?
But Bob is so mean when he's jealous and drunk.
You and Jim forget about it. I'll run him out of town. Thank you. Oh, see you both at the party tonight, huh?
Oh, yes, of course, Wyatt. There wouldn't be any party without you.
Thanks. Hello, Sam.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
You got a guest here by the name of Bob Rellens?
Yeah, but he checked out. Not 5 minutes ago.
Where is he now, do you know?
Threw his saddlebags on his horse and rode off. Acted sore at all us folks in Dodge. Reckon he headed back to Texas. And a good riddance, if you ask me.
Yeah, it sure is, if he did go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Howdy, Wyatt.
Howdy, Sheriff. Mr. Tillman, I'm hunting for Bob Rellens.
Jim, what's he done?
Shot somebody in the back? Oh, he threatened Jim Kelly. I ordered him to leave town.
He didn't leave?
I'm not sure. I've had my deputies out hunting for him since before noon. I was wondering if you and Mr. Tillman would give me a hand.
Of course, Wyatt. If that Rellens kid was still in town, where do you figure he'd be hiding?
Well, Steve Corning's old man Rellens' lawyer up here.
You talk to Steve.
Right.
I'll get some of my deputies. We'll help you check the trails.
Thanks, Charlie. That'd be the quickest way. I don't want Mr. Kelly's wedding interfered with.
Nobody does. Him and Dora have invited the whole town. Everybody will turn out to wish him well, too.
Now, don't worry about Rellens, Wyatt. We'll find him.
Thanks.
Howdy, Bob.
Howdy.
You're heading the wrong way, ain't you?
I'm heading for Texas. Is that the wrong way?
You'll be missing all the fun, Bob.
Oh?
Jim Kelly's marrying Dora Hand tomorrow. Free drinks and a picnic all day long.
That's too bad. I gotta shove along home now.
Bye.
Bye.
Howdy, Marshal. Sheriff?
We're looking for a boy by the name of Bob Rellens. You happen to know him?
Sure. I just passed him down the road a ways.
Heading south?
Yep. I charged him a little about missing the big day tomorrow. Kelly getting married, you know. But he said he had to move along home to Texas.
Did he act drunk or sore or anything?
Why no, Sheriff. It's a fair question. What are you after him for?
Marshal Earp ordered him to leave town. We're just making sure he left. I guess the boy come to his senses, Wyatt.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
If you're still not satisfied, we can overtake the boy. I don't know what we could arrest him for.
No, Charlie, not much sense in that. Guess I'm just kind of jumpy.
Kelly should be nervous, not you.
Come on, get him off your mind.
Well, gentlemen, this is the finest bachelor dinner I've ever attended. And the soberest. Jim Kelly, your very good health.
That's right. Let's have a speech, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, come on, how about a few words?
Well, Dora talked me into having the dinner here. She wanted to keep me sober.
Oh.
But we've had our fun and our jokes now, but in the general excitement, I plumb forgot to ask the Reverend to say grace. I hope it's not too late for his blessing on this house.
My good friends, I'm not going to say grace. Mr. Kelly, you and Miss Dora blessed this house with your love. Only love can bless a house and a marriage. But it took considerable more than that. It took great courage to cross Marshal Earp's deadline, to start a new life on this side of town. I'm wondering what you have to say to that, Mr. Earp.
Amen.
I say God bless all of you. Without Wyatt's help, the Reverend's, and all of you, I'd have never made it. It's a little miracle, it is, turning a hoodlum like me into a respectable merchant.
Good evening, gentlemen. Did you have too much to drink, Kelly? Shame on you. In front of the Reverend Hawker, too. I thought you were going to watch out for him, Wyatt.
Oh, he only had a couple of glasses of champagne.
It isn't the wine, it's the Irish in him, Miss Dora.
Lovely things was said, Dora. Lovely.
I apologize. Mrs. Hawkett's waiting outside for you. And Mrs. Hoover's waiting outside for you. She's worried about you. And I'm worried about all of you. Bachelor dinners. Do you know it's 2 o'clock in the morning?
But Dora...
We're going to have one of the biggest weddings that Dodge City's ever had.
Miss Dora's right. It is getting kind of late.
Good night.
Good night. Good night,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Good night, Kelly. Good night.
Good night.
I'm going to take Mr. Kelly on over to the hotel and see that he gets tucked into bed.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Hold on, Wyatt. I haven't showed her my wedding outfit.
Where is it, Kelly?
Wyatt left it in the bedroom. Now, the hat and coat may be too loud.
I'm a little tired, Kelly. Anything you wear will be all right with me.
She'll look at it, and she'll let you know whether she likes it in the morning. So, I'll wait for you outside. Good night, Miss Dora.
Good night, Wyatt. Good night, Kelly. Dream me an Irish dream.
I will. That I will.
Don't forget the wedding tomorrow.
What? I don't like leaving her alone.
She's not alone. Mrs. Norton's staying with her.
You sure Rellens didn't sneak back?
If he did come back, he'd be after you, not Miss Dora. Well, he's probably 50 miles down the trail to Texas by now. Come on.
Dora, is she hurt bad? I'll go for Dr. McCarty. No, you go.
Come on, give me a hand.
Dora.
Take it easy.
Wyatt, she's hurt bad. Do something. Do something.
There's nothing to do, Mr. Kelly.
Oh, Dora.
Don't take on so, Mr. Kelly.
Let him cry. Who's got a better right to cry? I'm going after Rellens. Now, we know he left by the Jones and Plummer trail, but he'd be a fool to stay on it with only an hour head start.
And he'll circle to ford the Cimarron and hit the Texas Trail in the Nations.
That'd be my guess, Charlie. The best ford is right here by Wagon Bed Springs.
No, that's a big gamble, Wyatt. Why, it's 70 miles across that prairie to the springs. Besides, he may get there ahead of us.
Then we run him all the way to Texas.
How much further the Cimarron, you figure, Wyatt?
Oh, about 30 miles over there.
Been riding 6 hours now. We better lay up and rest the horses.
Well, I vote we go on.
Wyatt's right. Man on the run usually figures he's got a posse of soft town folks after him. This may be our one chance to head Rellens off.
Let's go. United States Marshal, open up. This Wagon Bed Springs?
Yes, sir.
How far is it to Cimarron Ford?
Oh, gosh almighty, it's just across that field.
You seen any horsemen today or heard any tonight?
Nobody traveling either way, mister.
That's good. Charlie, you and Bill, get yourself warm and rest your horses. I'm going to go on down to the ford and make sure. All right. Can I borrow your lantern, mister?
Help yourself, Marshal. You other gentlemen go over and water your horses and come on in the house.
Thank you.
Easy, Wyatt. Thought you'd like some coffee.
Thanks. That's good. I figure Rellens will be by come sunup. Make the fight right here, keep the shots away from the house.
Well, have you thought it over? What? Do we just kill him outright, or do we hang him?
Can't do either one, Charlie. You know that. Supposed to bring him in alive.
Rellens has an awful powerful papa, Wyatt. The old man will spend any amount to get him off.
Money isn't going to get him off. They'll hang him in Dodge after a fair trial.
I hope so.
But you doubt it, huh? You, Bill, and I are officers of the law. All we can do is arrest the skunk. We're not supposed to judge him or execute him.
Fine. Come on. Let's get out of this and get some rest. Kill that girl in cold blood. Even if he meant it for Kelly, he had murder in his heart. Wyatt, I'll drop him. Or better yet, how about Charlie and me cutting loose on him together?
I feel the same way you do. I know better, and so do you. Just knock him off his horse.
You do it, Wyatt. I don't trust myself.
All right. Here he comes.
Oh!
Oh!
Did I get Kelly?
No. He killed Miss Dora.
You're lying.
Don't you never call Wyatt a liar. He's a fool to let you live, but he's telling the truth. You killed a girl.
Dora. Go ahead. Finish me off.
Oh, I'd like to. Killing's too good for you. Where you hit?
In the back, I can't feel my legs.
Your horse ridge spoiled my aim.
Oh!
Sit that. Have to make a stretcher.
Order! Order! The accused will come forward. Mr. Rellens, in the opinion of this court, you are guilty of murder. Doctors have testified that you will never walk again and might die at any time. This court, however, is not swayed by irrelevant facts. Order! Order! Any more disturbance and I'll have Marshal Earp clear the courtroom. Your counsel, Mr. Rellens, have asked a change of venue on the ground that public opinion is so inflamed in Dodge City that you could not receive a fair trial here. The court is obliged to agree to their contention. Quiet! Quiet! Sit down! Sit down and stay there. For the benefit of the public, the court must observe that any man accused of any crime is guaranteed a fair trial by the law of the country. Change of venue is hereby granted, and you'll be tried in Abilene. Sheriff Bassett, remove the prisoner. Court adjourned.
You better give him a good charge. You better
No, Mr. Kelly. Killing Rellens isn't going to bring her back. You'd have to punish her as a common hoodlum. Do you think Miss Dora would want that? They'll hang him in Abilene. If they don't, he'll pay in remorse and pain the rest of his life. Even if he gets off scot-free, Mr. Kelly, he'll still have to face the final judge.
The relationship between Wyatt Earp and young Bat Masterson was a rough and ready alliance of startlingly dissimilar characters. It began with Bat's hero worship of the older and wiser Marshal Earp. It grew as Bat determined to follow Wyatt in the dangerous career of a Western peace officer. Wyatt had advised his young friend to go to school and choose some other business. Bat made a try at this while Wyatt was Marshal of Wichita. But when Wyatt moved on to Dodge City and gained fame as the first marshal who could hold his own with hoodlums of that rip-roaring cowhand capital, Bat Masterson was drawn to Dodge as by an irresistible lure. Whatever befell, he would prove to Marshal Earp that he had the makings of a great deputy.
Oh, so this is Dodge City,
Toughest camp of them all, ma'am. But I'll keep an eye on you.
It's nice to know, Mr. Masterson.
I'll get the bags.
Oh, don't rush off, Miss Stanley. Oh, your little brother can tote your luggage to the hotel.
Mr. Lukens, I thought I told you I didn't want to be bothered.
Oh, now, is that friendly? No, I can show you a good time. Oh, here, boy. Take that luggage over to the hotel, will you, for the young lady? Hey, you're right handy with your fists. How are you with a gun?
Pretty fair.
Well, the next time I see you,
Wet.
Come on, let's go to the hotel.
You do the same.
Come on, let's go. You told me you wanted a job with Marshal Earp. Is this going to help any?
Lucan's asked for a gunfight.
I think you ought to talk to Mr. Earp first.
Wyatt. Your old friend, Bat Masterson, is in town. He just had a fist fight with a fellow by the name of Lucan outside the stage depot. They're going to shoot it out the next time they meet.
Were they fighting over a girl?
She's a real fairy belle, according to the stage driver.
Yeah, well, that's bad, all right.
I have a very nice room for you, southwest corner. Register, please.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Masterson.
Hey, Wyatt! Why, I meant to write you.
You never learned how to write. I say you got a little smear on your upper lip.
Oh, that's a mustache. Mexican style.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so glad to see you. I plumb forgot. Miss Nellie, I want you to meet Wyatt Earp.
How do you do?
I'd almost decided to run to the jail for you.
How's that?
Mr. Masterson here wants to gun a man.
Not unless he comes after me.
I'm afraid the gunfight's going to have to wait.
Why?
Because you're under arrest, that's why.
Another joke?
No, I'd have a fine time with my enemies if I let my friends break the law.
Well, thank goodness. Look, there's a lot of things about this that I haven't told you yet. But I will later. Why don't you keep him with you a few hours? By that time, somebody else will probably shoot Lukens. It's been a real pleasure, Mr. Earp.
Do I have to put the handcuffs on you?
No, I'll go along peaceable. Try my stomach. And the first thing I do is get into a fight. Sure isn't a very good time to be asking you for a deputy's job.
So who's the girl?
Well, she got aboard at Abilene. We struck up a conversation, that's all. Look, I'm not the fool I used to be about women. I'm practically cured.
Oh, well, that's good. Are you still really serious about wanting that deputy job?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
All right. You do me a favor. Keep this in the gun rack.
Yeah, but what if Lukens comes after me?
Oh, come on, act your age. You could shoot his ears off. You know that.
Well, yes, sir.
Now, when I go to see Mayor Hoover to get his approval on your deputy job, I'd look pretty silly trying to explain how you killed a man over a girl, wouldn't it?
I see that. How about the arrest?
That's first offense.
Thanks, Wyatt.
I'll let you buy me a dinner down at your hotel tonight.
I owe you a lot more than a dinner. Well, this is my lucky day, Mr. Dealer.
Fine, good luck. Your name Masterson? Mr. Lukens was here, said he'd be back. Want you to wait.
I'm not frightened. Let's have a nice, quiet game of cards.
Fine with me.
You paralyzed all of a sudden?
Where's your gun?
It's in the rack.
Well, go get it. Or maybe you're too scared.
No. I just don't want any trouble.
Big talk. No fight?
All right. I'll meet you outside.
Look out!
You want any more? Hold it. I'm sorry, Wyatt. I tried to keep up, but he crowded me.
That's right, Mr. Earp.
It's not hurt bad. Couple of you men walk him on over to Doc McCarty's.
You're sore at me.
I was on my way to see the mayor.
And now the deputy job's all off, huh? Well, come on, give it to me straight. Look, I'm not going to beg you.
Mr. Masterson, the deputy can't afford to get mixed up with women and gambling. Now, if you hadn't gone over to Beeson's place to play Pharaoh, you might have kept out of Lucan's way.
And let everybody think I was afraid of him?
It isn't what everybody thinks. And you claim you want to work for me, so it's what I think.
Oh, and you're still my school teacher, huh? Well, I don't need any lectures about how I gamble or what women I run with. Forget the job.
Wait a minute. You shot Lukens in self-defense. But I think you acted like a trigger-happy brat.
My friend.
Who is it?
Hey, Pollock, open up.
It's kind of risky, isn't it?
I'd rather take a chance of moving during the daylight than being bushwhacked by some reward hunter at night. Getting a drink?
It's on the bureau.
So that's the way it is now, huh? Little Nell ain't fetching drinks for her Davy boy anymore. Well, since it's going to be strictly business, we're hitting the Santa Fe payroll.
Yeah?
They bring $30,000 into this town every Saturday. But on what train, I don't know. Or how it gets out to the construction camp. That's your part of the job.
For how much?
The usual.
Oh, no. That won't be enough.
Won't it?
No. I'm not casing any more jobs for two-bit money while you throw away hundreds on her.
And which her is that?
On Blanche.
You listen to me. You give me any more trouble and you get a lot worse. Now, you be out the camp tomorrow night with the information I want.
Come in.
Hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
If you'd gotten here any sooner, you'd have to use wings. I don't see any wings or any halo.
I've been around. Your message said you needed help. What's the trouble?
How do you stand with your friend, Mr. Earp?
Not good.
It won't last. You and I are going to have to cut him in on this pretty soon.
In on what?
I know how you can get your deputy job and a big chunk of money besides. But come on, it's safer to talk outside.
Wyatt? Mr. Kenton, Mr. Earp.
How do you do, sir?
Mr. Kenton is a detective with the Santa Fe.
How are you?
I'm might worried. You got a reward sheet on Dave Pollock, his gang, the train robbers?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Kenton thinks he saw Pollock in our town.
Yes, he visited Nellie Wright at the Dodge Hotel.
Miss Nellie, huh?
She used to be his girl. Maybe she still is.
Oh, sit down, Mr. Kenton.
And that's where you and Marshal Earp come in. I tell you the robbery's set up, and you tell him. And I want 2/3 of the reward money.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Well, think about it, or there's no deal.
Turning in a hoodlum like Dave Pollock, you could get hurt.
So could you. That's another thing. I want Mr. Earp to promise to make a clean sweep of Dave and all his men. I'd kind of like to go on living.
Maybe it's too big a risk. White might not believe me. Anyway, how do I know you're going to stay hitched? You think you hate Pollock now? Just a cowhead. Don't get scared.
You're the one who's scared. All right. I'll tell Mr. Earp.
You go near Wyatt and Pollock will hear about it.
Dave's in a hurry. He's going to want to hit that payroll this Saturday. I'll meet you at the Long Branch tomorrow at 3. Slip you a note. That's the deal?
Yeah. Then I'll tip off Wyatt.
Okay.
Well, I'll have one of my deputies watch the girl, Mr. Kenton. If I were you, I wouldn't change any of my payroll delivery.
Well, do you think we can take Pollock if he rides in?
The main thing is not to scare him off.
One other point. What about young Masterson?
Well, Mr. Masterson is as honest as you are.
Thank you very much, Mr. Earp.
I thought you invited me to have dinner with you.
Why would I do that? We're not friendly.
Are you really that sore?
Yes, I am. Now get away from me, will you?
Well, let's have some fun, Ellie. Let's go dancing or something.
No, I've got to go in.
Oh, no, it ain't even 7 o'clock yet, Nellie. We're not even started
A lot
yet.
more than started.
You know, you're pretty cute, Nellie.
Stop it. You've had too much, Mr. Sprague. Now trot along home.
No, Nellie. Nellie, I'd rather be with you.
Mr. Sprague, will you go home?
Nellie! Nellie! So you're gonna be like that? Shoot me. Yeah, I'm gonna look for a little trouble. That's what I have to have, some trouble. What's going to happen to me?
Nothing. Come on, Mr. Sprague, drink your coffee.
I'll lose my job at the railroad.
No, you won't. Not if you tell me what you told that girl.
Well, I thought it was a joke how careless they handle the payroll.
Careless, huh?
They sure are. They put it in a gunny sack and just throw it on a wagon that hauls the grub to camp. Ain't that funny? Thousands of dollars rolling around on a camp wagon. That was the joke I told the girl.
All right. Now, you have nothing more to do with Miss Nellie, you understand?
Oh, never.
Al, do you want to take Mr. Sprague home?
Yeah, let's go home.
Yeah. What about Masterson? Shouldn't we pick him up?
I'll take care of that when the time comes.
All right.
Yeah, let's go home, huh?
Yep, we go home.
That'll take too long to go home.
Won't you join us? Stay a while?
No, thanks. It's all there.
Gunny sack. In a camp wagon. You been followed?
Maybe.
Just one more question.
What?
One of my boys saw you talking to a young fella, Pat Masterson.
What about it?
He's a good friend of Wyatt Earp's.
They hate each other. If you don't believe me, have your boys ask around the saloons.
Maybe I will.
Go ahead, I don't care. Call the whole thing off.
No, it goes tomorrow morning, you hear me?
Oh, shut up. I'll be there. Come on.
Danny? We're not going to take a chance on Masterson. We'll take care of him tonight.
Good, Dave.
You want in on this, Bat?
No, guess I better quit. I gotta see a friend of mine. Say, have you seen anything of Miss Nellie Wright?
Left before noon. Hasn't come back yet.
I'll drop around later.
Did you meet the Pollock outfit? Railroad detective's been waiting for you.
Mr. Masterson still in town?
Yeah, gambling at the Long Branch.
You missed her. She came in and then checked out in a big hurry.
Did she say where she was going?
Left you a note. But she didn't say where she was going.
You got a pencil?
Yes. Here you are, young man. Right here.
Send this out to Marshal up at the jail, will you? Give the boy this. If Miss Nellie hired a rig, where's she most likely to get it?
Livery stables, right across the alley. You'll go out here and turn to your right.
Thanks.
And
And what right have you to assume that Masterson isn't in cahoots with Pollock? Isn't it logical he might
No,
have...
sir.
Well, why isn't it
Because
logical?
I trust him.
You trust him?
Now, look, I'm not going to arrest Mr. Masterson. I'm not going to ask him any questions. I wouldn't want him to doubt my honesty, and I don't doubt his.
Well, then where are we? How can we set a trap for Pollock if we don't know where he's going to jump the payroll wagon?
I sent for him.
Really, Earp, of all the stubborn, misguided loyalty to a wild young yahoo, I'm...
Excuse me. It's from Mr. Masterson. Says he'll see me later.
Now, this looks like a case plan for the holdup. What do you think, Mr. Kenton?
Little David's garden. Well, where's that?
It's about 5 miles out of town. It's a stretch of boulders and brush.
Well, we'll be there. Now, shouldn't we talk about the...
I'm going to try and find Mr. Masterson. Shall I tell him you'll apologize?
What?
He's just a punk. Sure you didn't make a mistake?
I made a mistake, all right.
Oh, how's that?
Wyatt Earp and I fell out. What am I supposed to know?
You know Nellie. You're in and out of the hotel asking for her.
Well, if it's Miss Nellie Wright you're talking about, I met her on the stage from Abilene.
Well, tie him up. We'll take no chances.
Certainly, Mr. Pollock. Certainly, but you got me all wrong.
Get him out of here and tie him up.
He's so innocent. How did he know my name? Look, Danny, we're going to put a mask on him, make him ride with us in the morning. If he hasn't tipped off Earp, he'll be just another outlaw like us. But if we ride into trouble, so will he.
Mr. Gruber?
Yeah? Oh, howdy, Marshal.
Clerk over at the hotel said Mr. Masterson came over here to ask you about a young lady renting a rig.
Oh, young fella, well-dressed. He a friend of yours?
That's right.
Well, I thought he was just a drunk. I saw two men loading him into the back end of a wagon.
Why didn't you report that?
Oh, Marshal, you know they're always collecting drunks of these cattle outfits.
What about the girl, Nellie Wright?
Oh, her. Well, she paid me for 2 days and moved to that old boarding house down by the Santa Fe.
Thank you. All right, I'll ask you just one question. What do you think Pollock's going to do to Bat?
Well, if Bat hasn't owned up to anything, Dave might treat him like he did Fish Daniels.
How's that?
We weren't too sure of Daniels on the Hannibal and St. Joe deal. So Dave put a mask on him and took him along.
I see.
Are you going out there and jump Dave tonight?
Guess I'll have to.
That's stupid. First thing they do is put a bullet in the guy. Then they'd scatter in the dark. Why don't you let them come after the payroll?
So you could get the reward?
Why not? I'm risking my life. Let Masterson take a risk, too.
There are 2 deputies watching the house. You stay here. Or you're going to sleep in the jail. Now, I don't want a man to fire until I've taken my shot with the bunt line. That goes for you, Mr. Kenton, your Santa Fe men. Now, if Pollock brings Mr. Masterson along, I'm going to try to crease Mr. Masterson just enough to knock him off his horse.
Any man of mine fires, I'll crease them.
Fine. Let's get out there.
Time to put your mask on, Sonny.
There's a guard on that wagon, and he shoots me, I'm dead. If you get away with the money, I'm an outlaw.
That's tough. Put it on. All right.
Wagon's coming.
Wyatt, it's me! Get down, Bat! Let those sons! Get them off the horses!
It was a stupid stunt. I was aiming to crease you.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I didn't want a bullet in my head.
All right, all right.
It's not all right. Why didn't you come out and take me from Pollock's last night? But oh no, you're a cold-blooded John Law. You lay up there with your buntline special trying to put a crooked part in my hair.
Will you relax? It's all over, and you and Nellie will get a big reward.
Surrender. If he reached for a gun, you hit him on the head with the barrel of a .45, or you shot to disable him. Wyatt Earp, as Marshal of Ellsworth, Wichita, and Dodge City, followed this code to the letter, often at the risk of his own life. But young Bat Masterson, his new deputy marshal, had a lot to learn. Despite Wyatt's instructions, Bat was apt to get excited or trigger happy.
Go get Marshal Earp. Billy Jordan's on the prod. He'll hurt somebody.
And another thing, Mr. Masterson, sparking dance hall girls and being a deputy marshal, they just don't mix. Now, morals have nothing to do with it. It's just that I can't run an office like this with one of my deputies going around telling secrets to some ferry belle in a dance hall.
I don't tell him a thing, Wyatt.
No, not so far, but there's always the next girl.
Hello, Wyatt.
Al?
Some drunk cowhand shooting up the Long Branch. I'll take care of him.
Oh. Why don't you take Mr. Masterson along with you? The quicker he learns our methods, the better off he'll be.
Come on, Bat.
Will one shotgun be enough?
Oh, that'll be plenty. Oh, Hal will scare him and you grab him.
Your cards are crooked. I don't need to squawk to Wyatt Earp. Everybody out! This place is closed! Here?
All right, Billy. You emptied your gun.
I got more bullets in my belt.
Drop it.
Oh, no. No, Johnny. No.
He was only bluffing. He's hurt pretty bad. You gotta get him over to Doc McCarty's office.
His gun was empty, so you shoot him in the back.
I didn't know that.
Well, never mind that. Give me a hand. Come on, somebody, give me a hand. Bat thought he was gonna shoot me.
You tell Earp I want to see him about this.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Beeson. Come on, Bat.
See what Earp has to say. Hired a trigger-happy kid for a deputy.
Mr. Beeson, I just came from the doc's office. He says Jordan has a chance.
Do you think Masterson did right?
Well, I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. But as a general rule, when a man is told to drop his guns, he better do it or he's asking for trouble.
Are you defending Bat?
I'm responsible for all my deputies.
Well, I just wanted to know. You see, I'm going to have to explain this to Billy Jordan's old man, his brothers, and his cousins. You're in trouble, Earp.
All right. If they want to talk to me, I'll be around. It's also a general rule, Mr. Beeson, that a customer checks his guns.
How'd Jordan get so drunk that he waved a .45 in the face of a deputy with a shotgun?
So the main point is, Wyatt, that I knew Jordan wasn't going to shoot, but Bat didn't. He was standing behind the kid.
Thanks, Sal. Oh, make another check down at Doc McCarty's, will you?
Yeah.
All right, say it.
No, you say it.
I got excited, sure. Was afraid Jordan would cut loose at Hal.
Well, Mr. Masterson, we all make mistakes.
I don't think it was a mistake. I was playing it safe for Hal.
You could have shot Jordan in the arm or the shoulder.
When taking a chance, sure.
Look, we all take chances. I aim to wing a man instead of shooting to kill. Thought you knew what my policy was when you hired on here.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with it.
Oh, you don't, huh?
Look, you're lightning with a gun and dead accurate. You can't expect us deputies to take the same risks you run.
Hal didn't shoot, and he had more reason to fire than you did.
He might have got his head blown off, too.
No, he's had experience with drunks. You're under arrest, Mr. Masterson.
Arrest?
And don't leave the jail. Gonna have to find out what Jordan's relatives think about it.
Relatives?
That's right. They all have relatives and friends, Mr. Masterson. That's why we try not to kill people. How is he, Doc?
Well, he's still alive.
Did you get the bullet on?
No, it was awfully close to the heart.
Well, do you think he'll make it?
Not unless that slug comes out. I've stopped the worst bleeding, but the bullet nicked a rib. It's probably jagged enough to cut an artery.
Well, you can operate, can't you?
I could, Wyatt, but, you know, working that close to the heart, maybe we'll have time to get a fine surgeon from Kansas City.
Hey, what about a Army surgeon from Fort Dodge? It's only about 25 miles away.
Not much chance of getting one, I'm afraid.
All right, boys. Take off your gun belts. Hang them on your saddles.
Looks like some of Billy Jordan's folks.
I wish you'd ask him to stay outside for a while.
Yeah, I'll try it. Any of you Jordans?
We're all Jordans. My boy in there?
Yes, sir. But he's asleep. Dr. McCarty thinks you ought to wait a while.
Billy's still alive.
Yes, sir.
Tell me that one of your deputies shot Billy.
He was resisting arrest.
With an empty gun and his back turned?
Look, we know who it was. If Billy don't pull through,
Hold
we're
it,
gonna...
son. You ought to tell me you've been mighty decent in handling arrests. But I can't understand why you'd hire a young fellow like Masterson.
You want the honest truth?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson got excited and used poor judgment. But we've all made mistakes and...
Killing ain't just a mistake. If my boy loses out, so does Masterson.
That would be a mistake too, Mr. Jordan. Now, I must warn you and your boys not to wear guns in this town.
We're not gonna wear them. Just gonna keep them handy.
You put Wyatt in an impossible situation. You'll be too loyal to fire you. He may even feel he has to back you up if it comes to a gunfight. Now, I'm sorry, but it seems to me that...
I'll quit. I'll turn in my badge.
No, you won't. Billy Jordan's still alive. You go on down and make your regular patrol.
Yes, sir. I thought I was under arrest.
I wanted to keep you here until I had a chance to talk to the Jordans.
But, Wyatt, it isn't only the Jordans. Public opinion
I know,
is...
sir. Go on.
Why don't you let him resign?
Because he has the makings of the top-notch officer. Legally, he was within his rights. I'm going to get a telegram off to Captain Benteen over at the fort. Maybe he'll send us an army surgeon. Excuse me, sir. Hal? Hal?
Yes, sir.
Get this telegram off right away, will you?
If Doc McCarty can't save the boy, no one else can, and you know it.
It's a chance, sir.
Hang it all, Wyatt. You're carrying loyalty too far. The Jordans could gun Masterson, and any jury in Dodge would turn him loose.
Mr. Mayor, I don't defend what he did. I told Jordan's father I thought he made a mistake.
Then let him take his punishment.
You don't really mean that, sir. Besides, he's taking his punishment. He's taking it right now. Well, right now, Mr. Masterson is just about the lonesomest young man in the world.
Hello, Mr. Kent. Howdy, Mr. Prentice. Gotta check the shotgun, Mr. Beeson. I was over at Doc McCarty's. He said Jordan's holding his own.
No thanks to you.
Now, wait a minute.
You finished your business here. Now get out of my place.
Eve Tuttle, where you been keeping yourself? Hey, now, Eve, we're supposed to be old friends. We rode trail together. Hi, Jody, Mildred. Where's Charlene? Look, Charlene, I've had enough of this. What's the idea of you hiding and giving me the cold shoulder?
I know Billy Jordan and his folks.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. I couldn't help it. I thought he was going to shoot Hal.
Don't get me mixed up in it.
Mixed up in what?
In the fight that's coming between you and the Jordans.
They're not gonna.
Oh, yes, they are. If you've got any sense, you'll leave Tom before they come
Run
in.
from them? Is everybody crazy?
You're the one who's wrong. I suppose you think Marshal Earp and the other deputies are going to stick up for you?
Wide will. That's all I need.
Get out of town, Bat. You'll live longer. I've got to go back inside.
Captain Benteen's sending an army doctor. Says he's a fine surgeon.
How long will it take him to get here?
A couple of hours if he's got a good horse.
You better have someone meet him on the trail with a fresh horse.
That much of a hurry? I'll get a man off before sundown.
An army doctor? Why?
We have to cut the bullet out, Mr. Jordan.
Will you cut it out? We're wasting time.
I'm not that good with a knife.
Look, Mr. Jordan, you let the doctor decide what he can do and what he can't do. See you later.
Hey. I'll send one of these boys to meet the army doc with an extra fast horse.
Dr. Perkins know him? It's going to have to be somebody he knows.
How's that?
Well, there's been a lot of outlaws riding that trace from the fort. You stay here, I'll send a man that he'll recognize.
Right away?
My horse and his own.
Oh, so you're trying to save young Masterson.
Dr. Perkins is going to try and help your boy. If he can't, I'll help Mr. Masterson.
You go get old man Jordan and his men. And bring your guns. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. All right, if you ain't moved by the time I count three...
Hold it. What are you going to do, go around shooting people just because they stare at you? We'll talk inside.
Yes, sir.
And lonesome on patrol, huh?
Yeah, and I'm not going to take any more of it. Where's Dad Jordan?
He's over at Doc's place.
All right. I'll have it out with him. No sense in dragging you into my fight.
Well, I'm already in it.
Thanks just the same. Here, I'm quitting.
Mr. Masterson, it's about time you really grew up. You made an error in judgment today, and a lot of people hate you for it. But when a grown man blunders, he doesn't try and cover it up with worse foolishness. A gunfight single-handed against 5 Jordans, huh?
What else? They're just waiting for Billy to die, then they come after me. I want it over with.
Killing a few Jordans and getting yourself killed?
I don't see that I got much choice.
You know Dr. Perkins over at the fort?
Sure, he fixed up my leg.
Well, the doctor's riding here to try and help Billy Jordan. I want you to take my horse and ride your own out there to meet him. It'll hurry the doc's getting here. Doc McCarty doesn't think Jordan has much time. Don't you owe Billy that much?
They'll come after me.
I'll gun the first one that tries it.
Well, then they'll all say you're fighting my
They
fights.
say you're a murderer. That you shot a man in the back. Anything worse they can say?
No, sir.
Bet you give me 5 minutes for me and the boys get down to Doc Jordan. Then you hit the trail.
Masterson's trying to run out of town. He just galloped off from the jail.
All right, come on, we'll get him.
Hold it!
Take their horses and guns on over to the jail yard.
Your friend can't run far enough or fast enough.
He's not running. He'll be back. He went to get Dr. Perkins.
Us folks still have some legal rights, you know. I want to send one of these boys after Mayor Hoover.
Yeah, you can do that. In a half hour.
Go get him. Right now.
I said a half hour.
Howdy, Dr. Perkins.
Well, that's Bat Masterson. My apologies for the gun, but I've been held up so many times.
Marshal Earp sent you his horse. Jordan's pretty bad off, Doctor.
We better be getting along, eh?
Right.
All right, Bat, we'll hustle.
We'll leave your horse at the way station down the road.
All right.
Let's ride. Come on.
And you get tough with Mr. Jordan here, whose son is desperately ill. I don't care what the provocation is. I'm not going to have the respectable citizens of Dodge rousted around by the marshal's office.
You're the mayor, Mr. Hoover.
Yes, I am. And I want you to return the property you seized from Mr. Jordan and his party.
The horses and the guns?
Yes, at once.
I told you, Earp, there's nothing you can do to save Masterson. And I thank you kindly, sir.
Not at all, Mr. Jordan. And Wyatt, I warned you.
Is he worse?
Yes. Shouldn't Dr. Perkins be here by now?
I figure another 15 or 20 minutes.
If Masterson really went for him.
You're going to get your horses and your guns. But if Mr. Masterson has to make a fight for it, he won't be alone.
I never thought he would be.
Wyatt. Have you lost your head? This thing is bad enough without a gunfight between you and the Jordans.
You expect me to let one of my deputies get shot down with the odds 5 to 1 against him?
He was wrong.
Not wrong enough to die for it, sir. I've come within an inch of killing a few men myself. Now, I'll give the Jordans their guns back only because you order it. I'll give you my star and my job, but I won't give you a brother officer's life. Now, look, I've known Mr. Masterson a long time. But he's a newcomer to both of you, and I still say you can keep out of it.
We like the kid, Wyatt. He thought he had to shoot Billy Jordan to save me. Let's get over there.
Fine. But remember one thing. We stay out of it until we find out Billy makes it. The Jordans aren't going to do anything to Mr. Masterson if that surgeon can pull Billy through. All right, let's go.
I'll tie the horses.
So, you're Masterson. I'm Billy's father. Take him around there and set him down, boys, like Wyatt Earp did to us. We won't have long to wait.
Shouldn't we scatter and get them from both sides of the house?
No, they'd kill Bat. It's my stupid fault for getting here late. You keep me covered. I'll try and keep them talking.
Raise him up.
They're up, Mr. Jordan.
I ask you to keep out of it.
Well, I am out of it. And Mr. Jordan's got the drop. You were wrong, weren't you?
Wrong?
Sure, he came back, brought Dr. Perkins, didn't he?
That didn't change nothing.
No. What if Billy pulls through?
Don't let him jabber, Dad. Take his guns.
I've got him covered. You take him.
No. You don't take my guns. Mr. Jordan, tell him to stand back.
Hold it, son. Are you aiming to make a fight of it? I could pull this trigger and drop you.
Well, you wouldn't be that stupid.
Why, you...
Mr. Masterson is a lonesome man right now. You could kill him and get away with it if your son dies. You drop me and you're going to hang.
Are you going to shut him up?
Shut yourself up. You're right, Mr. Marshal. I don't want to pull this trigger. All I want is for my boy to live. But if he don't, you're gonna get it, and so is Masterson.
Go ahead and shoot me. Wyatt, don't go for your guns. You can kill 2 or 3 of them, but they'll cut you down.
Well, I know that. But Hal and Jack are just across the street. If they start this fight, there won't be a Jordan left alive except Billy.
He's bluffing, Dad. Pull the trigger or I will.
No. I'll do it.
What is all this? Which one of you is the boy's father?
I am. Is he dead?
No, we took the slug out. He's got a better chance to live than you have. Did you have to kill him, Marshal?
You can get off the first shot. But it better be awful good.
Doc, don't lie to me. Is Billy gonna pull through?
He'll live to bury you. Mr. Earp's patience isn't going to last much longer.
No, it isn't. Doc, that was kind of close.
Let the Jordans thank me. Just for my own information, why didn't you go for your guns?
Well, he was an old man. A bunch of boys. Mr. Masterson, if I were you, I'd go in there and apologize to Billy Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Let me have your gun. Needs a nice, calm trigger finger.
Even Indian raids in stride. But there was one catastrophe which the bravest townsmen feared. This was an invasion by hoodlum gunfighters bent on punishing the town for trying to maintain strict law and order. In all the turbulent annals of Dodge City, the day George Morris and his men captured Dodge is rated as the most terrifying experience in the memory of its citizens.
Hold it! Curly Brocious, George.
I know, but you didn't stop 100 feet from the fire. You know the rules. Come on in.
You wanted some news in a big rush, George.
Not that big a rush, Curly. Well, give me it.
I sent the telegram to Earp. He should be leaving Dodge right about now.
Where's Bassett and Tillman?
They're chasing horse thieves into Kingman County.
You dead sure?
I saw them on the North Trace, 40 miles from Dodge.
Good. Earp, Bassett, and Tillman were the only ones I was worried about. They're the Johnny Laws of the fast guns. That only leaves a handful of deputies for us to take care of. But remember, we follow the plan exact. What is the plan, Curly?
We drift into Dodge by 2s and 3s. A couple of deputies will be on patrol and a couple more at the jail. Me and my boys will nab the outsiders while you take care of the jail guard.
Learned it by heart, didn't you, Curly? But remember, as soon as we got the Johnny Laws locked in their own jail, I'll give you the rest of the plan.
That's what I'm anxious to hear. The rest of the plan.
Oh, it's a good one, Curly. The Morrises alone Dodge. And that's a lot of loot to whack up. Liquor and money. And won't them dance hall gals be glad to see us?
Did you put my saddlebags on the horse?
Yes, sir. You're gonna take the butt line, huh?
That's right. Might have to do a little long-distance shooting.
Why don't you let me go to the Springs?
Because I owe Wells Fargo a favor. I used to work for him, so I owe him a real personal favor.
That stage holdup crowd is going to be scattered all over Kansas by now. With Bassett and Tillman gone, you're leaving just 4 deputies.
There's 6 counting Sheriff Bassett's men. But what's really worrying you?
I don't know. I guess it's been too quiet here.
Well, that's natural enough. Santa Fe's working double time, and the cattle drivers are just now leaving Texas. I'll be back in about 3 days, Mr. Masterson. You hold down the fort.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Wyatt.
Argument didn't work, huh?
No. Wells Fargo telegraphed him to trail those stage robbers as a personal favor. You know why? He likes Indians and buffalo hunters and Wells Fargo and...
And us. Shake out of it, Bat. Those prisoners ain't been fed breakfast yet.
Where's Herb? He's out chasing stage robbers. He left Sam in charge. Why? What's wrong?
Caught this drunk over in the Sheriff Bassett's office tearing up a bunch of papers. Hey, haven't you got a patrol on the street?
Put him up.
Hey, what is this?
Don't get rash, son. All right, drop your gun. Where are the keys?
Top drawer.
Put them all in cells. What about him? He's out cold. We'll get him later. George at the mayor's office by now.
Hank, you take my advice. You let things run along as they are for a while.
Who are you?
Shut up,
Hoover. That's the mayor of this mangy town. Grab him.
You'll hang for that.
Don't worry about it.
Who are you?
I'm George Morris, and I just elected myself mayor of Dodge City. How do I look, boys?
You look awful good, George.
Take him to jail and get the outfit together on Front Street.
Where's Marshal Earp?
Well, he's miles away from here, and now you're going to jail. Out with him.
No, listen. You can't.
Pick up that boy deputy and throw him in with the rest of them. Oh, no. Get off that horse! It's back, Masterson! Let him go!
You're right, straight to Wyatt Earp. That's exactly what I want him to do. We've got his town. Now let him try and take it back.
Mr. Beeson, Masterson's gone after Earp. He got clean away.
All right, so he got away.
Is this whole town going to stand around and do nothing?
Morris and his boys will calm down after a while. Look, there's a shotgun. You go fight him.
But everybody should fight him. We can't expect Earp to come back here and run the Morse gang out all by himself.
They're brave, Curly. They're gonna fight us.
All of them together ain't got sand enough to fill an hourglass. You own this place?
He used to own it, Curly. We want all the cash you got and all your liquor.
Well, now, that's a joke, isn't it, Mr. Morris?
I don't joke. All right, set him up.
They moved in with 20 gunfighters. All our men are in jail.
Wait a minute. Catch your breath. We'll let your horse graze for a while. Go over here and sit in the shade.
You sure Masterson got away?
Yeah, he admits it. He says Morris wants back to get to Wyatt. I hope Wyatt keeps his temper and goes for the army.
There ought to be enough men in this town willing to fight.
Nobody to organize him, Mr. Mayor.
Well, Wyatt will go to the army for help. It's the only sensible thing.
Not if he gets sore. Shut up! You've talked long enough.
And I reckon the only thing to do is for us to ride to the fort. About a half a squadron of cavalry and then... Huh? Don't you think they'd come?
Oh, yeah, they'd come.
Well, then why don't we get them?
Well, because I don't think the folks in Dodge City are that cowardly. Would you want to live in a town that had to be rescued by the army from a pack of hoodlums?
Well, maybe the townspeople would fight. Yeah, but you can't go back in there, Wyatt.
Why not?
Morse will have a sentry on all the roads. Let's ride to the fort. I'm not ashamed to ask for help.
Oh, but I am. You know, not too long ago, Charlie Bassett and I had a poker session argument about what we'd do if something like this happened. Worked out a little map of the city. Let's see if I can remember it.
Wyatt, Bassett and Tillman are in Kingman County. Morse put the sheriff deputies in jail. Now, what chance are we going to have?
This is outline of the town. This is the east side over here, the storm drain. We leave the horses here. It'll be dark by the time we sneak into town. We'll hold up until first light.
Go against 20 men in broad daylight?
Well, night shooting's no good. You hit too many innocent bystanders. What's the matter? Don't you want to hear the rest of it?
No, sir, I don't. We're bound straight for Boot Hill Cemetery, and you want to draw me a map. Come on, let's rock.
Load her up, boys. Don't be bashful. We got lots of wagons and plenty more horses. We got all the loot that they'll carry. Why, we'll head for south of the line for a little fun with the girlies. Hey, you brave jayhawkers. Where's your great Marshal Earp now? He knows we're here. Why don't he come into town? I'll tell you why. Because he's yellow, just like the rest of you.
Ain't we stood enough of this, Mr. Beeson?
Nobody in Dodge will fight for me. Not having Earp here's taking all the heart out of him.
Put these shotgun shells in your pocket.
Where does this tunnel come out?
Near old man Richard's house, head of Front Street.
That's 5 blocks from the jail.
Come on, hurry up.
Stay out of my dance hall. I know all about you Morris men, and you wouldn't be doing this if Marshal Earp were here. Now stay out.
Here, I'll give you a hand up.
Guess they cleared out, huh?
Light up. Sure, old man Richards wouldn't mind you using his clothes. He's just about your size.
What's the idea?
It'll be light in a couple of hours. These clothes on, you might have a chance to sneak down to Chalk Beeson's saloon. He's our best bet to organize some help. Meanwhile, we can be memorizing their moves in case this doesn't work.
Maybe they cleared out. Shouldn't I take a gun?
No, I'll cover you. Go on.
Hold it, fella. Who are you?
I just got into town. You wouldn't know me. You law officers?
Take off your hat. I said take off your hat. About Masterson. Where's Wyatt Earp?
I don't know.
Where's Wyatt Earp?
I don't know.
You're a liar.
Hold it. Hit him. With your fist.
No.
Come on, out the back door.
It's Earp! It's Wyatt Earp! He shot me with the butt line. Him and Masterson ran out back there in the alley. Dave, tell George that Wyatt Earp's in town. Rest of you into the alley!
Open that. Where are we now?
Basement of Jameson Hotel. We go through here, climb up to the roof of Beck's drugstore.
Wyatt, that's no place to make a fight.
Come on.
All right, boys, come on. There. Come on, boys, hurry it up. Come on, the sooner we get that loot loaded, the quicker we can get south of the line. Remember them dance halls and them girlies, they're waiting for you. Let's go.
Curly says to tell you White's in town.
What?
He came back. We got him and Matchison cornered in the cellar down the street.
Cornered, you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I ain't. We'll round up all the boys and plug every rat hole. Never mind that. Earp's back in town. Come on, let's go and finish him.
You think it's true, boss? Yeah. I heard that bunt line special 3 times. There ain't another gun that sounds like it.
Well, aren't we going to help him?
How many fighting men you got in the back room?
8 or 10.
Well, that's not enough. Go out the back way and see if you can round up about, 10 more.
But, boss, if we could bushwhack them from the doors and the windows...
No, they shoot too good. Go on, 7 or 8 more at least.
Okay, boss.
You idiots. They know better than to hole up in the cellar. Curly, we've wasted a whole hour looking down rat holes. Now let's do it systematic. Take every building between here and the Long Branch and really ring it out.
Right.
Why don't we try to make it down the back way to the alley?
Oh, the alley's full of them by now.
Why do we come up here?
Because it's the end of the line, Mr. Masterson. 2 men can't take a town.
We make our fight here?
No. We wait for help. Doesn't come, we go over the roof to the sidewalk.
What then?
Pull that wagon in here for a barricade. That's good. They ain't in the hotel, Curly. Maybe they're hiding here in the drugstore.
I think they went up the alley to the Long Branch.
Crazy? What would they be doing at Beeson's place?
A lot of town boys been sneaking in there. I'll take some fast guns and go...
No, stupid. It's Earp that we're after. Now, let's go look in the drugstore.
We're running short of time. Here. You watch the skylight. If they start coming up, let them have it. I'll watch the stairs across the alley. We'll wing as many as we can, then jump for the sidewalk.
I had a hunch they came in here. Hey, maybe they're hiding on the roof.
Go on.
This is all I can find, boss.
Well, that's better, but still not enough. We'll wait and see how much fighting Earp does.
There's a ladder over here. I better cover it. Jim, Charlie, up the stairs over to the bootmaker's shop. You two, come on. Up to the skylight. All right, Earp. If you're up there, I'll give you a chance to surrender. All right, boys, take them.
Here they come.
We'll have to set fire to the building.
Give me that shotgun. They won't come up anymore. If they do, use your handgun.
I'll give you one more chance. Then we're going to burn the store. Hold it. Get some torches, boys. We'll burn them out.
It's Wyatt, and he didn't bring the soldiers.
He's a fool.
No, sir. A brave man. Hey, got a light? Sure. You're so scared you can't even light a cigar. Crummy nerves, I guess. Thanks, anyway. Brave bunch of deputies, Mr. Mayor. Put your mug over here against the bar. I'll light it for you. All right, grab his gun. Help! And the keys. Help! 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 Get over here. Get back.
No use, Sam. He can kill all of us.
Yeah. Drop that pea shooter. Now get back inside, all of you. Come on.
Bring me some more shells. Reload the butt line.
They're gonna burn us off here.
It's a side ladder, a few doors down. We'll take that to the street and try to stampede those horses over there.
Hey, Earp. If we burn the store, it'll take out half the town. How about it?
Morris, come on out in the street. I'll come down and you and I can settle it.
We'll count to 10, then we start the fire.
You hear that, Earp? You gotta count to 10. Start counting now.
Let's stay on our feet, huh?
All right, boys, light 'em. There's Earp. He's headed for the Long Branch Saloon.
Here he comes.
What are you men waiting for?
Well, nothing, Wyatt. Just trying to get more men together.
Morris has been whittled down. There'll be an even fight. Well, what are you waiting for? You want him to bring you out of house and home?
Of course not. We'll fight.
Well, then get at it. Now, they'll be starting to cross the street. You men aim low and cut him down. I'm going after Morris.
I want to hugger him.
Fine.
Throw Earp out of here. You hear me, Beeson? If you don't, we'll come in there and get you, too.
Hold him, Morris.
All right, go for your guns.
There's 2 of you.
There used to be 20 of you. Which leg do you want?
The left one.
I'll take the right one. We're waiting, Mr. Morris.
And long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien. Wyatt Earp, as marshal in Wichita and now in Dodge City, had met some of the top guns of the western frontier. He had outthought the notorious Manon Clements. He had outfought John Wesley Hardin in a final showdown. He had persuaded Clay Allison to run from Dodge City rather than face a duel with 45s man-to-man. But the case of Butch Henry, cattle thief and killer, presented a new problem. Not much was known about him, and he chose to await a battle with the law on his own fighting ground in the rocky wilderness known as the Salt River Bend.
Sparrow!
What happened, Bill?
That Bush Henry gang, they attacked us in the brush, and they killed Rance and Herb, and then they...
We'll take him to Doc McCarty in Dodge. I'm going to see Wyatt Earp about this. And we're small fry in the cattle business, Marshal. We couldn't take the law into our own hands if we wanted to. And we're asking you to organize a posse and go after that gang. I know you've had trouble with cattlemen from the big outfits, but none of our boys.
Well, that's got nothing to do with it, sir. It's just that, well, technically, Sheriff Bassett has the jurisdiction. I know he's homesick, but, well, as Chief Deputy Bill Tillman...
He's not here, Marshal. He rode to the fort this morning to check a Cheyenne outbreak down south.
Well, I guess it leaves it up to me.
Good.
Oh, you think that Butch Henry's holed up at the Salt River Bend, huh?
We know he's there, Marshal. And he's got 300 head of our steers. Salt River is a good hideout, and we're going to need quite a few men.
Well, I never like to use a posse, unless it's a last resort.
Marshal, Butch Henry has killed at least 20 men. He's on the run from East Texas. They've got good peace officers in East Texas, but they didn't take Butch Henry.
I'd like to take a crack at it.
Well, we're in your hands. I reckon this is one of the few times that any cattleman ever came to you for help.
Yes, it is, and I appreciate it. I want Butch Henry as much as you do.
And here's another thing, Zach. We'd run off all the beef we can rebrand and sell, right? Well, a couple of the boys can hold him here. So why don't the rest of us pull a raid on Dodge? They tell me them gambling houses are just loaded with cash money, right?
No.
What do you mean, no?
George Morris tried it.
He's a big-headed fool. He tried to take over the whole town. I mean a quick raid.
Wyatt Earp's in Dodge.
Oh, now, Zach, don't tell me we're scared of that Cowtown Marshal. 19 notches, and I'll cut me number 20 for Mr. Earp. Zach, you ain't scared of Earp.
Never laid eyes on him.
Well, neither have I. But that's no reason to be taking him so serious. Who's he ever killed? Look, a man don't get an honest reputation without no notches in his gun, right?
I'll think it over.
Where you going?
Check on the cattle guard. You think about it some more, Butch.
But I figured on starting at sunup.
No.
Aren't you going to tell me what this is all about?
No sense in worrying you until it's necessary.
Well, Marshal Earp, I just got him finished. It's a good joke, you and Mr. Masterson being one of a train robbery in Texas.
What? $2,000 reward from Morg Pickett and Bill Jepson, alias the Amarillo Kid. These men held up a Texas and Pacific train and killed 2 county sheriffs near Fort Worth, Texas. Signed, N.B. Averill, Captain Texas Rangers. What is this?
Morg Pickett and the Amarillo Kid. That's you and me. Thanks, Mr. McCabe. It's a real good, fast job.
Thank you.
Remember, keep this to yourself, otherwise you'll spoil the joke.
Oh, I won't say a word, Marshal.
Come on, Mr. Masterson. So in order to keep from having to take a posse into the Salt River Bend, I decided to try for an inside job. A character like Butch Henry, being this far north, probably could use a few extra hands. A couple of characters like Mort Pickett and the Amarillo Kid stand a good chance of being hired on. You be sure and remember those names.
Only one thing wrong with the idea.
What's that?
I know Texas and I can talk the language. But they'd spot you for a Yankee in 2 minutes.
Oh, Sonny, ain't you never heard me talk Texan? Well, I heard so much Texas talk up here in the north that I'll be dang gone if I don't seem to be using that accent in my sleep. Besides, they call me Silent Morg Pickett. So, kid, you'll be doing all the talking.
All right. Well, what if they start asking you about places in El Paso, Fort Worth, and San Antonio?
Well, it's a long ride to Butch Henry's. You can tell me about them on the way.
Well, supposing they do let us join them. Then what?
It's not too big of an outfit. About 9 or 10 guns at the most. Anyway, they'll be busy holding those steers in the bend.
I think we stand a pretty good chance of taking Butch Henry and a couple of his men if the others don't butt in. Suit yourself.
Well, smoking him out with a posse would be a lot worse. When do we start?
As soon as we can get the right clothes together, we got to go in there looking like outlaws, you know.
For God's sake, don't take that Mudline special. They've never seen you, but I'll bet you they've heard of that gun.
Hey, thank you for reminding me. I'll feel kind of naked without it, though. Oh, boy. You want some water?
Yeah.
Hey, you were telling me about Big Kate's place down in Waco. What did she look like, and what do you remember about her?
She's not so awful big, just kind of thick-like. She has blue eyes and dark hair, but don't get me wrong, she's got a real good figure. She runs a saloon and dance hall. Her girls' names are Midge, Susie, Anna Mae, and Dolores.
Well, I'll tell you, Sonny, that's a mighty heap of remembering. What about the Cattle Annie's down in Fort Worth?
Oh, that's a long story, Mo.
Price of the herd is $4,500. That figures $12.50 a head.
Oh, that's too steep. Why, a lot of the brands have been messed up in the changing.
$4,500 cash or it's no deal.
Sorry, gentlemen, I can't go above 3,000. Why, you ain't allowing for the risk I run.
Hold it. Zach, see how much he's got on him.
What are you doing?
Shut
you
up.
can't do this
Where
to
do
me.
you keep it? Now we got visitors.
You let me alone. I said shut up. I got friends that'll take care of you.
500 measly bucks. You get out of camp quick.
Oh, this is just plain robbery.
Oh, no. Not with strangers around. Didn't you hear those warning shots? You get on your horse and don't look back.
That's just plain robbery.
Get up there. Who are you and what do you want?
You Mr. Butch Henry?
I ask the questions, you answer them.
They seem kind of hostile, Morg. Reckon we better try our luck with another outfit.
Don't rush off. You boys on the run?
Could be, mister.
You forget you saw us, and we'll forget we saw you. Come on, kid, let's push on.
Nope. Can't see no reason for quarreling. You all sound like you might be from Texas.
Yeah, we are.
Texas Rangers? That's a dirty word, mister.
Ease it off, Morg. Morg don't care for Rangers.
Neither does Zach. Your pal had it right. I'm Butch Henry. He's Zach Newcomb. A light down. I never turned Texas boys away from my camp.
Well, if he's really Butch Henry, I guess it's all right. You know, you sound pretty big-headed for a trail ghost. I don't think I like Mr. Newcomb or whatever his name is.
Ease it off, Morg. You'll have to make allowances, Mr. Henry. Morg and I, we've been traveling far and fast. That ain't Morg's true nature. That's just his belly growling.
They're hungry. Go tell Simon to rustle them up some grub. Pronto.
We sure do thank you kindly. Reckon we could eat a whole steer. He's Morg Pickett, and I'm Bill Jepson. They call me the Amarillo Kid.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Reckon we better show Mr. Henry our calling card, huh?
Sure.
Calling card, huh? Well, that's as good as any with me, better than most. You fellas seem to know your way around, giving the Rangers the go by. Zach, take a look at that. Guess there ain't no harm in having a friendly little chat while Simon fixes up your grub. Come on.
Boss.
Yeah?
They ain't wanted in Kansas.
Well, what's the diff? They're on the run.
Which one of you is the boss anyhow, you or him?
I'm Butch Henry. Ain't you never heard of me?
Sure he has. You're the top gun in East Texas. 17 notches.
19. I got me 2 more the other day.
19 notches.
I invited these boys to eat here. You making any objection?
Nope.
That satisfy you?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Take care of the horses. Come on over the fire. Give me a plain walnut grip on a colt. Then you can notch it without chipping it.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Henry. Shall we ask him?
It'll make no difference to me, either way.
Ask him what?
We're nobodies compared to you, Mr. Henry. But I was wondering if you could use a couple extra hands.
Well, I don't know. Either of you any good with a gun?
Well, we got us 2 sheriffs.
From ambush?
Morgan ain't had too much practice. But I'm a fair hand at shooting.
Yeah, let's see you hit that.
Sure.
Not bad. How about your draw and shoot?
Well, I can do a drop the dollar.
You're bragging a little, ain't you, kid?
Give me $1.
Hey, that's pretty good. You got the shot off before it ever hit the ground. What do you say, Zach?
We can try him. But we don't want his pal.
Nothing doing. Morgan and me left Texas together. We stay together.
Listen to Newcomb. What does he do, bury the bodies for you?
That's enough.
Quit it!
We're friends, Morg.
Look, the kid can handle a gun and we can use him. I'll use Morg as one of the cattle guards. I'll blow on your soup. It's too hot. You fellas are hired. Go catch a nap someplace. You look beat.
Thanks, Mr. Henry. Ease off, will you? Looks like Butch has called a powwow. What was the idea of getting so tough with Newcomb?
He's the real boss.
How do you figure that?
Butch does too much talking to be a fighting man.
Yeah, only 19 notches.
But I think Zach does his killing for him.
Ah, you don't know what you're talking.
Shut up and listen to him.
Boys, all we could get from that cow trader was $500.
Oh, that's not enough.
Now, Zach will cut it up, share and share alike. We just couldn't unload them steers. Quiet, quiet. I've got an idea how we can pick up some quick money. There's plenty of this stuff in Dodge, all spread out in them gambling joints just ready to be took. Now, what do you say?
Zach told us it wasn't a good idea.
Is that right, Zach? Is that what you said?
No.
Why, you dirty double-crossing liar, you said... You...
I run this outfit, and I don't take no back talk. And no lies about Newcomb. Any of you other boys scared to go to Dodge? All right. Bury him.
Zach got off the first shot.
Yeah, he usually does.
Why does he let Butch take all the credit?
And they're watching us going to sleep.
Well, I think we ought to hit him tonight while the gambling is going full blast.
Not with those new men in camp.
Well, we can use the kid.
Maybe. Not the big one, though.
All right. I'll leave the big one on cattle guard.
No. I want to talk to him first.
Now, look. There's already been one killing in camp. That kid's gonna stand by his pal.
You call the kid over here. I want to talk to Pickett when he's all by himself.
Now, Zach.
You do like I say, real quick.
All right. All right. Hey, kid! Kid, come on over here.
You want Morg, too?
No, he can work on the fire.
Go on, I'll cover you. part of Texas was you born in?
Part of Texas?
Yeah. Where was you born?
El Paso. Why?
That's funny. I was born in El Paso.
Maybe we're neighbors.
Name me some of the streets.
If you live there, you know their names.
I'm asking you.
No, you're trying to call me a liar.
It's their fight, kid.
I don't like you, Mr. Newcomb. I told you that. Now you get the gall to ask me questions. I don't like that.
No.
Sit down, Mr. Newcomb, before I'm tempted to break both your legs. Hold it! Any of you want to pick up his fight?
Mr. Henry's coming, Morg.
I got no quarrel with Mr. Henry.
I ought to finish you off, you polecat.
You don't like Newcomb?
I despise him. None of the men ever liked him either. Patch him up. Put him on his horse. I don't want him around my camp. I never saw two-handier men with guns. Why, you're almost as good as I am.
Well, that's a big compliment, Mr. Henry.
Sure is. Downright flattering.
No, I mean it. I got a special proposition to make you. You heard us talking about a raid on Dodge? Well, if you're game, I'll cut you in on equal shares.
Well, fine. Hey, you hear that, Morg? We're in.
Well, I don't know, kid.
What's wrong?
We're raiding a big town like that. Why don't we just round up them steers and point them south toward the Indian nations?
You scared of Wyatt Earp?
Earp? Who's that?
He's the John Law in Dodge with a big reputation. But he ain't as fast as I am.
Well, I'm not fretting about no Earp. We better think about it. If I was you, I wouldn't put Mr. Newcomb on a horse. Oh, the way he's feeling, he's liable to head straight for Dodge and rouse up that whole town.
That's right. I'd better see that he's tied up. You keep working on Morg, kid.
You'll come around, Mr. Henry. You aiming to bulldoze that whole outfit into town?
I slipped up on a serious point. Should have told those cattlemen back in Dodge what you and I were going to try and do.
You couldn't do that. They'd have talked.
Yeah, but I should have trusted them. No, I made a big mistake. What if those cattlemen come hightailing it out here with a posse?
Well, let's grab Butch and Zach. Make a run for it like you first planned, huh?
Butch has got more men than Mr. Byrode figured. Got 9 here in camp. I figure at least another 10 out in cattle guard.
Well, then we'll have to get them all started on the raid.
Yeah.
If there's a posse headed this way, some hoodlum is sure to beat him here with the news.
Yeah, that's right. You, go tell Butch you won me over.
Right.
How much further to the bend?
Maybe 5 miles. But we're all pretty tired, Hick.
Wyatt was a fool to try an inside job, but if they haven't killed him and Masterson, we owe them a chance. I hope it isn't too late.
There's just one more thing. Some of you men been out on cattle guard, so you ain't met Morg Pickett and the Amarella Kid. Morg is the man that crippled Newcomb in a stand-up gunfight. I was going to shoot the rat myself, only Morg took the job off my hands. Now, I want you all to do me a favor. When we pick up them other men and we hit Dodge, you leave Wyatt Earp to me, to Morg, and the Kid. All right, so we ride. Hold it.
Posse coming, Butch, not more than a mile behind me.
How many of them are?
I couldn't tell.
Wyatt Earp with them?
No, him and Bat Marston snuck out of town 2 days ago.
What?
Hey!
That... There they go, that dirty rat!
Don't kill him, just swing him. Yeah.
on! Earp ain't gonna get away with this!
Hold it, Butch. Concentrating us.
I want Earp! It's too late! Take cover! Move around! I want them dirty John Law!
We can't stay here.
No place else to go.
Quit hiding! Come on out!
Are you crazy?
Come on out, Earp! And I'll make it 20 notches!
Drop him wide.
Hold your fire, men! I want Earp to come out. I'm awaiting, Earp!
Aren't you gonna kill him?
No. That's what I wanted to do to you in the Pollock ambush, but you wouldn't trust me.
You boats, let's get him, men!
You hit?
No, we're not coming out this way.
Hold your fire!
Hold it, man. Come on, drop your guns. Come on, all of you, out of there. Drop your guns. You there. Come on out. Line them up and tie them, boys. A close call, Marshal.
You're right, sir. We'd like to thank you. That's Butch Henry, but he's not really the tough one. The tough one is Zach Newton.
He's tied up over there. So Butch Henry isn't really tough. A cattle thief with 9...
Most of the judges with whom Marshal Earp had to deal were honest, strong, and fair-minded men. But when Judge Tobin was assigned to ride a circuit which included Dodge City, Wyatt came up against a strange character. Tobin had set out to make a reputation for himself as a hanging judge. Men called him Rope Tobin and compared him with the notorious Judge Parker, who hanged 88 men in Oklahoma Territory. But in the case of Judge Tobin...
The defendant will face the court. Mr. Bingham, you've been tried and found guilty of stealing a horse. You stole this animal from a traveler on the open prairie. You were well aware that a man's horse is his life. Cattle and buffalo will stampede at sight of a man on foot. Men have been trampled to death in such stampedes. Furthermore, a man without a horse has no means of escape from savage renegade Indians. By your act, you condemned your victim to death. And only by the merest chance...
I didn't steal that horse. I bought him.
Silence. Marshal Earp, it's the judgment of this court that Mr. Bingham be hanged by the neck until dead. You will notify Sheriff Bassett that the execution will take place tomorrow any time between sunrise and sunset, and may the Lord have mercy on his soul. Remove the prisoner. Something on your mind, Mr. Earp?
Yes, sir, there is.
Well, out with it.
But since you asked me, Your Honor, I think that Mr. Bingham might be telling the truth.
What makes you think so?
Well, I know he was riding the horse when we arrested him, and he didn't have a bill of sale, and we couldn't find the man that he said sold the horse to him, but... Well, it seems to me
He had a fair trial, Mr. Earp. Had he been caught on the trail riding a stolen horse, he'd have been hanged from the nearest tree. Do you believe in lynch law, Mr. Earp?
No, sir, I don't. I hate it.
Well, so do I. And the only way to put down lynch law on this frontier is for legally constituted courts to do their duty. We must teach men to respect legal justice. Do you have any further comments, Marshal?
Yes, Judge Tobin, with your permission, I have. But it involves criticism of this court, so maybe I better keep my mouth shut.
Speak up. Speak up.
Well, sir, with all respect, I don't believe in hanging a man on circumstantial evidence as in this case. You say you want the law respected. Well, that's what I want, too. But do you believe hanging a man on circumstantial evidence is the way to go about it?
I disagree with your thinking.
Well, you're the judge.
Careful now.
Well, anyway, it's not my jurisdiction. Crime was committed in Ford County, so it's up to Sheriff Bassett.
You do know a little about the law.
Just enough to serve you fair notice, Judge. I don't believe in hanging for any other reason than first-degree murder. And only then on most conclusive evidence.
Fair notice. Of what?
Dodge City isn't Ford County, and I'm not Sheriff Bassett. Good day, Your Honor.
Did you tell him what for?
As much as I dared. No sense in getting fined for contempt of court.
What's wrong with that man, Wyatt?
He's never seen a hanging, that's what's wrong with him. Any kind of circumstantial evidence satisfies him. No, he's a real hanging judge for sure.
Well, Charlie Bassett says Bingham's wanted in Nebraska for 2 murders. I guess it all evens up.
No, it doesn't. Judge should send him back to Nebraska for trial.
Oh, now, Wyatt.
Look, how would you like a friend of yours hanged on doubtful evidence?
Well, now, I can't think of any of my friends who were apt to get hanged.
There's nothing funny about this, you know. You send that poor fellow on over to Sheriff Bassett's lockup, then wash your hands.
Well, I just washed him.
Wonder what kind of soap Judge Tobin uses on his.
Huh?
Never mind, go on.
3 a winner. 6 a loser. 8 a winner.
I want to take a look at that deal box.
Hand that back.
I got a hunch this is a Mississippi bottom deal.
I said hand that back.
Why, you wouldn't.
Sure. Finley, put it away.
He grabbed my deal box.
Ease off. Take a walk. Take over, Earl. Eve, you and I'd better have a little talk. In there.
It'll be a pleasure.
Well, what's your complaint?
The card game's crooked. It's been crooked ever since Chalk Beeson left for KC. And I'm going to prove it to Chalk when he gets back with this.
Well, let me see. Perhaps Finley has.
Not him, you. Chalk left you here to run things. And Finley will deal him straight or crooked, just as you say.
How much did you lose?
1,000.
You never had that much.
1,000. It'll cost you a lot more if I tell Beeson. He'll make you pony up 5 times that. And put a yellow tag on you besides.
All right, but I can't get it for you right now.
When?
Tonight. The cashier's changed shift at 8 o'clock. Now, you slip in the back way. I'll give you the money. You give me the box.
Of course, Pete. When I get the money, you'll get this.
Where's your relief man, Finley?
He's late.
I'll sit in for you.
Thanks, Pete. Anything wrong?
Eve Morgan's still mad. Take the alley home. All right, boys. Let's change the deal box. Nothing like new cards in a fresh box. Break open the deck.
I'll take a stack, Pete.
Sure.
I'll keep cash for you.
Good. It's Eve Morgan. I think he's dead.
Morgan? Morgan. He's dead.
All right, you men stay out here. Break it up. Dead. You men go on back in the saloon. Go on.
Morgan was a good guy, too.
That hole in Morgan came from a 41 Derringer. You know anybody that owns one?
5-spot Finley. He used to have one.
Where's Finley?
He went off shift about 8 o'clock. He's probably at home.
Go pick him up.
Finley wouldn't shoot anybody, Wyatt. I knew him in Abilene. In fact, he tipped me off to a gunslinger that was
Look,
out
will
there.
you just go pick him up?
Whatever you say.
You quit wasting my time. I took this off of Morgan. You ever see it before?
No, sir.
You're lying. It's a Mississippi bottom dealer. Now, you want to explain how come Morgan had it?
Marshal, I swear to you, I don't know anything about it.
Look, 3 eyewitnesses out there told me they saw Morgan take it off Finley at the faro table. They also saw Finley pull a derringer on Morgan.
Marshal, Finley's my friend. Now, surely you don't expect me to incriminate him.
Billy heard about the shooting. I met him in the alley.
You don't think I had anything to do with it?
You own a derringer, Mr. Finley?
Yes, sir.
Where is it?
It's in the drawer in the faro table. And it's here could tell you what...
Never mind. Let's go see it. Come on.
It's gone, Mr. Earp. Somebody stole it. Pete, you know the gun was in the drawer when you took the slot from me. Don't you remember? You said Morgan was sore at me for me to take the alley home.
Finley, Mr. Earp knows about the box.
He does? I cheated Morgan, but I didn't kill him. You know me, Bat. I wouldn't kill anybody.
I told as much to Marshal Earp.
You threatened Morgan with the gun, didn't you?
Yes, sir, but only to keep him from beating me up. Anders took the derringer and put it in the drawer. Then Jake grabbed me and hustled me out. Ain't that right?
Finley, you're talking too much. You need a lawyer.
Lawyer?
Mr. Finley, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder.
Wyatt. So Rob Tobin can do the
Now,
same
you're
thing?
the one that's talking too much, Mr. Masterson. Take him to jail.
Come on.
Go check the brand. We don't hang horse thieves without some show of a trial.
What about Finley and Bingham?
They had a trial.
Left one's bar H, the other's bar N.
Well, I'm sorry, Judge, but I can't help myself. You're under arrest. Charge of horse stealing. Take that rope off him. Climb in your buggy and we'll head back to town. Go on.
Ghastly mistake. Why, those hoodlums might have tried to hang me. And on the flimsiest of circumstantial evidence. What if this got into the newspapers, an accusation like this? Rumor, gossip, the dignity of my office. Marshal Earp, I demand an immediate release.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but any charge by a citizen must be investigated.
Oh, come now, we've had our differences, but surely you don't believe that I stole that horse?
No, sir, I don't.
Well, then why are you holding me on a charge that you admit's absurd?
Blackmail?
What?
I have here an official police report with a felony complaint signed by Jim Lawrence, the owner of the stolen horse.
Just what are you after?
Well, Judge, to begin with, I'm looking for a human being in you.
What is this?
Then there's the blackmail. But let's call it white blackmail, shall we? I want a stay of execution for Mr. Bingham. He should be sent back to Nebraska and tried there for murder.
Is he wanted there?
That's right, on 2 counts. And Sheriff Bassett didn't mention anything about it because he felt Bingham might just as well be hanged here as in Nebraska. Well, I don't agree with Charlie's idea of the law. I also don't agree with hanging men on flimsy circumstantial evidence. It'll ruin respect for law out here. And you and I, sir, in our different ways, are the law here, aren't we?
Those Nebraska charges should have had priority. All right, I'll grant the stay, but not as a price for anything. Now, go ahead and do your duty as you see it.
One other thing, sir. I ask you to release Finley on bail.
A condemned murderer?
Look, sir, I need your help. I think I know the man who really murdered Morgan. Now, if you turn Finley loose, the man I'm after will get scared, and a scared man always makes a wrong move.
It's still blackmail.
No, sir, it isn't. I changed my mind. There won't be any police report, and I'll ask Jim Lawrence to withdraw his complaint.
What would make a stubborn, opinionated man like yourself change his mind?
My father's a judge back in Illinois. The kind of judge all of you should be. He didn't get his reputation by hanging men on circumstantial evidence. I guess I tried to mold Judge Tobin in his image. I'm sorry for that.
Excuse me, Judge. Wyatt, they're talking mighty mean at the Long Branch. They think Finley had a raw deal.
Yeah, I expected that. All right, round up the rest of the deputies. Tell them to load with buckshot.
No, no! I'll admit Finley to bail. Turn him loose.
Thank you, sir.
But if you've got another suspect, you better get him quick. I can always change my mind.
Finley!
It's good to see you.
Finley, you're free.
I'm only out on bail, but I sure thank you, guys. Still winning, huh?
Yeah, little old Finley. Boy, howdy.
Good to see you. Sure want to thank you, Pete, for getting me the lawyer and everything.
What's a friend for? Boys, the next round's on the house. How come old Rope Tobin let you out on bail?
Well, Mr. Earp says it's because they can't find my gun.
How does that figure?
It's a kind of a legal technicality. Mr. Earp suggested it to the judge, and the judge agreed. Unless they find my gun, they can't hang me. Sure hope they never find me.
Sure.
You ain't buying the drinks, Pete. I am. Come on. Drinks are on me. All this can
Come on, boy. Howdy, Marshal. Bat.
Howdy, Mr. Anders. We're still looking for that Derringer.
Yeah, Finley was telling me about that. Marshal, why's old Judge Tobin want to hang little old Finley? Why, Morgan never was no good.
Neither are you.
Big gun, big talk.
You scared Finley into cheating.
Ease off. You move aside. I'd like to take a look in there.
Why, there's nothing in there except a lot of trash.
What are you so nervous about?
Nothing, Marshal. Nothing at all. Well, what do you know? Finley must have stashed that in there. I mean, whoever shot Morgan must have put it in there.
No, you stole it and shot Morgan.
Are you crazy?
Last night, right after the shooting, I came out here and that barrel was empty.
So what does that prove?
You knew I looked in there. You figured the safest place to hide this is where I'd already looked. An old man, Craig, threw some trash in there, and you came out and threw the Derringer on top of it. You're under arrest, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah? Stand steady.
My friend. Trying to get me hung.
Have I stolen any more horses?
No, sir. I found your horse hidden in the livery stable.
To solve a murder case with a dying man's confession, you even find my horse. That's sheer genius, Marshal Earp.
Your Honor, what is the penalty for framing a circuit judge on a horse theft charge?
Well, I wouldn't hang the man who did it, but you can warn him any more shenanigans will draw a mighty stiff prison sentence.